What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dead on Dave, back once again with a daily focus. It's Monday, so you know what today is. It is your weekly roundup. It's sports roundup, wrestling talk. We're going to do all of that good stuff. I'd like to get to wrestling first. That's what I'd like to do because I know a lot of you do come here for the wrestling specifically. However, there is something looming, something much bigger that we need to talk about. Obviously, what happened last night, Super Bowl 49, Super Bowl 49, Patriots and Seahawks. I stated that I did not give a shit, and it's true. I didn't. I really didn't care. However, I did pay a lot of money throughout the course of the season for this NFL year, and the Super Bowl was included in that with commercials, which for me being in Germany, that's really cool. I couldn't sleep, so I decided to stay up, and I watched the game, So I watched the entire first half. I watched the absolute worst halftime show I've ever seen in my life. Holy God, Katy Perry is just a nightmare. With special guest Lenny Kravitz, who did absolutely nothing. The coolest thing about that show was that frickin' big-ass lion or tiger thing that she was riding on at the beginning. That was cool. And, Missy Elliott. Anyway, so after that, we had Seattle come back out and do absolutely nothing at first. They scored. They got a field goal, and then New England turns the ball over immediately. When that happened, I was done. I was like, okay, Seattle's starting to roll. It's probably over, or at least there's not going to be much worth watching after that. It was Brady's second pick. They looked out of sync and all of this stuff. So I decided, okay, I'm done. So, I figured it was over, and I was getting tired, so I fell asleep. I didn't mean to go to sleep. I fell asleep. I woke up this morning, and I found the thing I love most in the world, when a team chokes like dogs. And Seattle did. Seattle choked like dogs. Let's talk about this. Let's get into this game a little bit because I do have some notes. I went back and I watched it this morning, and I took some copious amounts of notes. And let's get into some of them right now. First and foremost, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say it for the world to know and understand. You can never have a conversation. There are two conversations that you will have from the rest of your life if you are a football fan. The greatest coach of all time and the greatest quarterback of all time. Based off what happened last night, you cannot have those conversations without mentioning and probably making a very strong argument for both Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. In my opinion, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever live. I was not believing of that before, but looking at his body of work, 6 Super Bowl appearances, 4 Super Bowl victories, and he's got all of the regular season statistics that you want to see. 2-time Super Bowl MVP, multiple-time league MVP. I mean, it's insane. And as I'm a Peyton Manning guy, I always have been. But the reality is Peyton Manning is not Peyton Manning in the playoffs. Peyton Manning may be the greatest regular season quarterback in history. There's very possible of that. But Tom Brady, overall, he's the man. And I don't say that with a lot of hoopla. I'm saying it as a sports fan, as a former very, very big football fan, that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever live. And subsequently, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach to ever live. Does he sometimes possibly look for advantages? Every single advantage? Yes, the guy wants to win. There's no question about that. But we need to start letting some of these things go, man. Yeah, he's always going to have this aura around him of being a cheater, which, is justified in some respects. But the more this Deflategate goes on, one of two things is going to happen in the next 30 days. And Chris Collinsworth said this during the broadcast, by the way. Either some sanctions are going to be handed down to the New England Patriots, or they are going to get an apology. It's one of the two. And this does not work for the league either way. The league is not in a good place either way. Obviously, it would be better for the league's office and, more importantly, Roger Goodell's commissionership if they just are able to find enough to sanction the Patriots. But I don't think there's going to be enough. I just don't see it at this point. It doesn't look like there's going to be enough. And they are going to have to apologize. And depending on how big of a dick Robert Kraft wants to be, this could be the final nail in the coffin that will be holding the fucking corpse of Roger Goodell. I think this could be it. Roger Goodell might be the worst commissioner in any sport in history. He is horrible. My God. Absolutely horrible. And he can't take a firm stance back against Kraft if Kraft wants that apology, because the commissioner works for the owners. And Robert Kraft is a pretty damn well-respected owner in the league, so it is what it is. They may have to bite the bullet on this. About the game, a little bit about the game. This Super Bowl made me remember why I loved football and also why I now hate it, why I've fallen out of love with it. But it gave me glimpses because let's face it, this was a good game. This was a great game. Great game, especially after the clunker that it was last year. This was a fantastic football game that had a lot of good football. Not sloppy, not bad play. There was a lot of great football played in this game, and the refs mainly stayed out of it, which was a good thing. However, there was some controversy, and there was a lot of questionable things that happened. So let's talk about the gagging. Let's get into this gagging. Seattle choking like dogs. And why did they choke like dogs, kids? Real simple. 8.5 minutes left. They have a 10-point lead over the Patriots. Why is that significant? Because it is the largest fourth quarter lead in Super Bowl history to lose the game. Never happened. The most was like 7 points. Nobody's ever had more than that and lost the game till last night. Seattle just misplayed everything. I mean, we could talk a lot about some of the things that happened that New England was able to get back into the game. When New England took the 4-point lead, which was crazy because of how quickly everything shifted, Seattle marched right back down the field, got an incredible catch on the sidelines, one of the most incredible catches I've ever seen in a Super Bowl game. I mean, if you're New England, you got to feel like David Tyree. Are you serious? Mario Manningham, are you serious? And now this cursed guy? What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? This is crazy. This is crazy. This cannot be happening again. Again? Really? But it looked like it was. First and goal from the 5. Seattle has the football. Give it to Marshawn Lynch. 4.5 yards on the first down play. 27 seconds left in the game. What do? You give the ball to Marshawn Lynch, right? Easy. This is easy. You give it to Marshawn Lynch. But they don't. For some inexplicable reason, they don't. It wasn't an audible at the line. It was a run call. They decided this came from the sidelines. The offensive coordinator's trying to take responsibility. So is Pete Carroll. They throw a quick slant to Lockett. The receiver, Lockett. This is the guy who was released by the Bears preseason. It's crazy to me. And you got a guy jump right in front of it, pick it off, game over. Well, not even game completely over, right? New England is on the half-yard line. They still have to. They still got to do something. Brady's got a quarterback sneak it out of the end zone. Anything can happen. And then Bennett, the defensive lineman, where Seattle jumps off sides. Oh my God! It's one of the worst penalties. And apparently, Bennett has done that more than anybody else in the league this year. He's got 10 offside penalties this year, most in the NFL. This is just absolutely crazy. Oh, my God. It's just, any chance you had, it was now gone. And then we get a reminder of why this game is disgusting. The brawl that mars the end of this game. this is one of the reasons why I started to really hate this sport. Seattle's a bunch of babies. Absolute whiny little babies. Look, I understand that you just choke like dogs and emotions are high. I played football. I played, not professional sports, but I played semi-professional sports in my life, and I've done very highly competitive things. I know what the emotions could feel. Trust me. And you can't react this way on the biggest stage for your sport. When you're representing a league, you can't do this, man. You can't do it. And the first thing I thought about was hockey. How would this have happened in hockey? Yeah, you play to the end whistle, but this game was done. You don't brawl like this. You line up, you shake hands, you walk off the ice. You do the exact same thing here in football. In this situation, you just played one of the greatest games in Super Bowl history. You do not have a friggin' 5-on-5 brawl to end this game. This is disgusting. It's disgusting. Absolutely terrible. How can the last thing that the ref does in this game is eject somebody? That's unbelievable to me. So I mean, there's a lot of other plays that you can point to throughout the game, but these were the big ones that I wanted to talk about. And I want to stress again how much the NFL needed this game. They really did. They needed this Super Bowl. I can't wait until you see the ratings. The ratings will be it's going to be the highest rated football Super Bowl in football history. There's no question about that. Ticket sales were unreal. Commercials, there were some really awkward commercials about like kids dying and stuff. That was bizarre, wasn't it? Did you guys see these? Holy God. Like nationwide and stuff, and talking about kids dying. Then there was a really awkward spousal abuse commercial. That one was wild. There was a whole bunch of just wild ass commercials. And look, I get it. Everyone's going to try and get a piece, and you're going to try and shove your agenda down as many people's throats as humanly possible. And I understand that child accidents and spousal abuse are serious things. But I mean, damn. This was crazy. Just an absolute insane Super Bowl on so many different levels. I'm glad that I watched as much of it as I did. I'm glad I was able to finish it this morning. It's a great Super Bowl. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback to ever live. Bill Belichick's the greatest coach to ever live. That's it. I mean, you can make cases for other guys. Tommy C will make the case for Johnny Unitas, and he's not really wrong. Johnny Unitas changed the way the game is played, but in a lot of ways, so is Tom Brady. So is Bill Belichick, for good or bad. I mean, there's been a lot that these guys have contributed to the game, and when you excel at the level that these guys have excelled, I'm talking a combination of Brady and Belichick, what else can you say? They excelled at a level that we have never seen before. This is crazy, the things that they're doing together. And other superstar quarterbacks usually have a superstar they can point to and say, this is the reason as to why. The only thing that Tom Brady has is Rob Gronkowski. Now, as great as he is, now you can make cases for how really good Julian Edelman is and all that, and Danny Amendola, good player, but he's made of glass, so this is probably the most talented team that the Patriots have played, have won a Super Bowl with, at least offensively, especially with the way LeGarrette Blount played in the playoffs and stuff like that. I think offensively you can make the case that this might be their most talented Super Bowl team offensively. And defensively they were very good as well. This game scored a lot of points. It was just absolute insanity. What a game. What a game. Do I care that much for the NFL because of it? No, not really. Will I quickly forget about the Super Bowl? Probably not. It'll stick with me because it was a good game. But it almost felt like a goodbye. It was like, this is kind of sad. I mean, I remember why I love the game, but I don't think I can ever see myself becoming the football fan I once was, just because of the disgusting culture that surrounds the game now. I mean, which I was a part of. Frankly, I was a part of it, and it's crazy. Well, anyway, let's get into some wrestling. I think I covered the Super Bowl as much as I'm going to. Let's talk a little bit of wrestling. First, let's talk about something that I feel is a non-story. The Daniel Bryan leak of his rehearsal interview on last week's Raw. Everyone seems to be making a big deal out of this. This is not a big deal. Of course it was scripted. All those damn promos are scripted. We know they're scripted. I did not for 1 second think that Roman Reigns' interview was unscripted. Never once did I think that. I felt he delivered it well. I felt Daniel Bryan delivered his kind of well. Scripted or not, it doesn't matter. If it's a well-delivered promo is a well-delivered promo. We know these guys are heavily scripted. We know that it is what it is. So I don't think it's a big deal at all. I don't see the up in arms mentality. I don't think this is an indictment on Reigns. I don't. There's enough reasons to hate Roman Reigns because this one was scripted is not one of them. Speaking of reasons to hate Roman Reigns, I have not been a defender of Roman Reigns. I've been a defender of what has been happening within the storyline as far as giving it time. I think that's my biggest thing that I have tried to stress is I'm willing to give this time. However, Roman Reigns cannot make comments in the media like he just did the other day. Joe Cronin does a video where he goes insane on this, and he's not wrong either in a lot of what he's saying. Joe Cronin, that is, not Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is wrong for most of what he said. Roman Reigns made comments of, like, you're not performers. These critics, they're not performers, so how dare they criticize me and all this. That's bullshit. Of course we can criticize. Anybody who watches the product and knows what they want to see can criticize. This made you look like an asshole, Roman Reigns. Real simple. This made you look very bad. And this could not, I just don't understand why you would make these comments. Especially like, hey, this isn't on me. I'm just a guy. The company's going to do what they're going to do at the end of the day. I'm just a guy getting rich. Really? Unless you're going heel, this makes no sense. This makes absolutely no sense. It's just moronic. And it makes me question you, man. Because these are like Bill Goldberg comments, man. And you can't do that. The family that you come from, you can't be making these type of comments. Yeah, if anything, you should be embracing. And that's the funny thing. The WWE has been trying to embrace that heritage and that making him seem legit in that manner because he comes from this family. And this is what they do. They're wrestlers. They live, that's the angle they were trying to sell him on Raw. And what does Roman Reigns do? He spits right on it. This is moronic. It's absolutely moronic. And what else is to say? Stone Cold Steve Austin had a very interesting podcast where he says that Roman Reigns is not ready. And he's 100% right. What he also said was it's not his fault. And he's right there too. This is not Roman Reigns' fault. What Roman Reigns does from here on out is on him. Whether he puts in the work or not to become a great star is on him. And Stone Cold was saying things like, well, I don't know. I haven't heard too many things that says that Roman Reigns is a gym rat as far as like learning the craft, talking to people, picking people's brains. If Roman Reigns is not doing that, which he obviously should be, then he deserves every bit of bad publicity, every bit of boo that he gets. Plain and simple. But hopefully this kid will get it. And it came out. My beard thing came out. Hopefully he will get it and he will start to perform the way that he needs to. Or at least just start learning the business a little bit better. You have to. You've got to become a student of the game. It's just how it is. You want to become great, you need more than just that push. You got to have some substance behind you. And this is not the way to do it, making comments like this, have everybody question everything you do, and then not make improvements. So hopefully, like I said, I'm still going to give this time and let this simmer a little bit and see where it goes from here. Tonight can change everything. We have no idea what Triple H is going to say tonight. I don't know. What do you guys think it is? I'm pretty sure it's going to be something to do with either Curtis Axel or The Rock. We'll see what happens there. It's going to be very interesting. Other than that, it was a rather slow news day. Not a lot of other things happening within the world of wrestling. just those things that I wanted to talk about real quick. And, of course, the insanity that was the Super Bowl. I might be doing another video later on. Should be a lot of fun. Oh, breaking news. Apparently Richard Sherman is going to be having Tommy John surgery on his elbow. That's crazy. That's crazy. What did you guys think of the Super Bowl? Did you watch the Super Bowl? What did you think of that final play call by Seattle? Do you understand any of that? I mean, just, And what do you think of Roman Reigns? What do you think of the comments made by Roman Reigns? And is this Daniel Bryan thing even a situation to you at all? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, like, share, subscribe, support, you know what we do here, right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time. Peace.